Good morning. It's so nice to see you again on Sunrise on Soul Television. Thank you for joining us. My name is Amaka Isuchukwu.
And I am Laura Amanze. Good to have you this Wednesday morning.
All right. Now, quite a lot of things have been happening this week. It would seem like this week is the week of increments. It has been touted for a long time, but we didn't see it coming until it suddenly dropped on us. So from yesterday, the hashtag from 2K to 6K has been trending. Because quite before now, Nigerians could actually buy 15 gigabytes of data from MTN at 2,000 naira with a validity period of 2 weeks. Sadly, as of yesterday, if you would want to purchase the same amount of data, you would have to buy it at 6,000 naira, which is over 200% increment. And that isn't really funny.
I reserve my comment, Amaka. It's not funny at all.
And then talking about increment, you're saying it's not funny. Have you heard now that, previously before now, when you go to the banks to make withdrawals at the ATM machines, excuse me, at the automated teller machines, what would happen is for the first 3 times you're withdrawing outside your banking hall, I think it's 65 naira, was it 35? The first 3 are free, and then after that you begin to pay. But now, even when you are withdrawing for the first time using another bank, there is a 100 naira charge and a 200 naira charge, depending. We are going to be talking about that much later. But for now, hello, Nena.
Yes, good morning, Amaka. Good morning, Laura. How are you doing this beautiful morning?
I'm fine.
Well, you look beautiful.
Well, already looking red.
Nena is planning for all the love from this week.
Okay, just like Amaka said, we've been having increments here and there. Let's look at some of the stories driving conversation this morning from our newspaper headlines. We begin with Punch newspaper this morning. Telcos tariff hike with a rider. Reps demand reversal as new pricing begins. Okay, House of Reps on Tuesday directed the telecom regulation and the Minister of Communication, Innovation and Digital Economy to suspend the tariff increase, arguing that Nigerians cannot afford higher telecom costs amid a rising inflation occasioned by removal of fuel subsidy. Now, moving on, Senate on security. Yes, a Senate grills IG over 178,459 Mason guns alleged contract splitting. Okay, the Senate expressed concerns that firearms meant for law enforcement could have gotten into the hands of criminals, worsening Nigeria's security situation. Okay, reacting, the IGP said that some of these firearms were lost during robbery attacks. And still on Punch newspaper this morning, PDP crisis with a rider. Wike allies sack BOT chair Sean Ikimi panel. BOT chair Senator Adolphus Wabara was suspended for 1 month on grounds of anti-party activities, having expressed his support for Alex Oti, the governor of Abia State and of the Labour Party. However, some party members at the national level also dismissed the purported suspension and regarded it as null and void. So these are the stories making rounds from Punch newspaper. I don't know if you have something to say for me. The most attention-grabbing story here will have to be the PDP crisis, because it's littered all over the faces of the newspapers this morning. So I don't know. On the basis of this sack anyway, Senator Adolphus Wabara has been suspended for 1 month. It's just like every month we keep hearing issues surrounding PDP. Someone said PDP is imploding. I don't know, but then it's funny at this point.
No, I think actually PDP needs to get their house in order, right? Because, I mean, when I stopped taking PDP serious was after Wike did everything he did, including all the anti-party activities that he played, before the presidential primaries, they seemed to, be one mind.
Yeah.
But after Atiku picked
With the
Okowa,
G5 governor thing.
sincerely speaking, I don't understand. I think PDP really needs it was last week we heard about Anyanwu and Udokoye. Someone stepped down to go contest for an election. Lost and came back and said, no, my position is still there. I'm just glad how that one panned out. But if PDP would play its role at the opposition party that it should be, because Nigeria, the way it's moving, it's gradually becoming a one-party nation. But if PDP is going to actually play its role well as an opposition party, they need to get their acts together.
Although people from the National Working Committee, they are saying that the suspension is null and void. They didn't follow constitutional process. That they do not have any rights from the state to suspend somebody.
We have occasions where someone at the state level was suspended from Abuja. I mean, we have even had occasions where people said, "See, forget that suspension. That's day. We are here." All right, and they really just need to get their acts together.
And it's just for 1 month, so let's keep our fingers crossed and see how this plays out after 1 month. Okay, for now, I think he's still serving the suspension. All right, let's move over to Vanguard newspaper this morning. 2027 presidency with a rider. North will take its turn after Tinubu's 8 years, and this is coming from Ganduje. Okay, I won't go into exile despite plans to arrest me. El Rufai is talking. Of course, you will recall that El Rufai has been in a battle of words with the presidency and the ruling party APC. And again, PDP crisis, NWC voids Abia chapter suspension of Wabara. And finally, MTN data reps ask FG to halt impending hike in telecom tariffs. Laura, I know you have something to say.
I just want to talk about the El-Rufai talking. It's funny when he should come up and be criticizing the same government he said was the best.
No, it was the best, yes.
The best thing that ever happened. And I think he lost it for me, because this is the same government you did everything to bring in, and I think it's just because eventually he was not given any appointments. And now I don't know if he's an opposition within the party.
Opposition, yeah.
You understand? So he trying to play the spoiler and trying to play sentiment, bringing in the northern aspects, trying to buy people off with those kind of sentiment. For me, he doesn't work.
Meanwhile, he said he's in Egypt, that by February 20 he'll be in Nigeria, and he's waiting for someone to come and arrest him. That's El Rufai always talking big.
Yeah. He talks from both sides of his mouth.
Okay, and this story.
I'm actually interested in price.
Yes.
Very interesting.
Very, very. As it affects every.
Yeah, because before now they proposed having 100% price increase, and amazingly it was slashed to 50%. But if we are to go by the one we already saw yesterday, that is not a 50% hike.
It's not, definitely.
From 2,000 to 6,000, that is.
Although the one I have here is saying 1,800 as against 1,000 for 1.5 gigabytes.
Now this one is, when you want to purchase data, you have the options of purchasing daily, weekly, or fortnightly, monthly. Then they have plans for, I think, 2 months, 3 months, and 4 months, right? Now, this particular one that people are very particular about, the trend, I was talking about it from 2K to 6K. That was 15 gigabyte data value for 2,000 for a validity period of 2 weeks. Okay. All right, so if you go to the My MTN app or you dial the *312# to load, what you would see is 6,000. And if it is 6,000 naira as against 2,000 naira, that definitely doesn't look like a 50% increase. And it's only MTN that has actually
done that, yes.
Glow and Airtel are still there.
They said they are still waiting for their own price list, so it's just MTN that's come up.
What kicks me in this whole thing is that the house is saying hold stay. And then they go ahead to still do the increase. So I don't understand. Is it that the laws are not working, or people are just not interested in obeying or following what the law stipulates? We're saying, okay, already we have too much taxes we are paying, Nigerians are paying. Hold this for now, let's review. And the telecom company just went ahead and still did that increase. So I don't understand.
And they're not even considering the common Nigerian
yes.
in some of all those things,
and
because
you know
keep,
what,
like Amaka said, you keep hearing increment here and there, tariff hike,
that really
and all of that.
gets me upset is that this same networks, they don't do such increases in other countries.
Yeah, you're right.
So I don't understand why Nigerian situation is peculiar. When you say don't do, they just go ahead and do it.
It's also this our thing of always patronizing foreign things. I think there was a time that chance came up buy Nigeria too. Yes.
Yeah.
Let's start that campaign again, because it helps. Okay. Now there's also another story where firearms to the tune of 178,000 is missing. Guns in Nigeria. That's a security concern there. I don't know, the security agents, they have to tell us, explain to us where these missing guns are. You know, security is everyone's business. If these guns have made their way into the hands of criminal elements in the society, you can imagine what we have in our hands. In the budget, I can see that security was given top priority, but then they have to do more. Sometime in last month, they were saying they are collaborating with China to begin to make guns locally. But what about the missing guns here?
Well, I want to say so much because I believe, I might be wrong, but I want to believe that they know
where those guns are.
Where those guns are. And when they are ready, they will bring them out. They really do know where those guns have gone to, because guns do not just develop wings and fly. And for a junior officer to do something, let's say pick a gun, these guns, you see guns. So when they begin missing like that and no one is saying anything.
They also cited this example that it was during maybe a face-off with some of these criminals.
The same criminals, they come out to say that they disarmed, and so it was during the face-off they collected the guns. Never forget that.
And finally, there's also a very interesting story here. 2027 presidency, North will take its turn after Tinubu 8 years. I don't know. What's your take, Laura? You know, you seem to have interest in the northern part of the country. I know. That's why this question is coming to you. So is power going to the north in 2027?
I wouldn't know, but I think that narrative ought to change.
Yeah.
This north and south thing. It should be who has the best interest of Nigeria.
Yeah, definitely.
It doesn't matter which region you come from.
Well, you know, the APC believes in zoning.
And the way they're tilting it is like Amaka said earlier, we are like gradually becoming a one-party state, which is not okay. It's certainly not okay. Because if you are saying the north, what part of the north?
Okay, that's
we
another
have
question.
Central, and we have people who are embedded in the north, but are really not northerners.
I also think they should focus on governance.
So
a lot of things.
Governance is not
politics. 2027 is still 2 years away. I think they should focus on giving Nigeria the good governance they demand at this point, and not with all these political permutations going here and there. Thank you. This is how far we can go on trends in the papers this morning. Many thanks for being part of it. My name is Nena Igwe. Over to you, Emeka and Laura.
All right, at this point, we're going to take a break. And then when we return, we'll have someone right here in the studio telling us how far FGM in Ebonyi State. Please stay. time last week, the world marked World Zero Tolerance Day for Female Genital Mutilation, FGM. And Ebonyi State, like other states, was not left out. Actually, the wife of the state governor, Mrs. Uzamaka Mifri, said something striking. She said the prevalence had been reduced to 52%, was that 56, in Abakaliki. So today on Sunrise and Salt Television, we have someone who works with the grassroots, all right? Now, we are here to look at, she is a dedicated champion to ending the menace in Ebonyi State. Now, Lucy Ogodo is a girl child rights and health advocate, and also the founder, Tomorrow is a Girl, TAG. Thank you, Lucy, for coming.
Thank you.
We are so glad that you were able to be here. Okay, you know, when people actually say this is what is happening, we might not really know if truly that's what is happening. But when it's coming from someone who actually works directly with those people, as they would say, grassroots worker, it strikes a different chord. So I just want to know, do people really do still cut the female genitalia in Ebonyi State?
Okay, thank you so much for that question. Actually, the truth is that when I'm even hearing, oh, the prevalence is, Ebonyi is doing well, the prevalence is going down, and then I'm also in the field and we're getting reports every now and then. It begins to, I begin to wonder, are we getting the statistics from the town? Or, I mean, is this thing really coming from the grassroots? Because of course, well, there's a lot of change. There's been a lot of change over the years based on interventions and all of that. But these things are still happening. These things still persist. And then we want to we are looking forward to, for my organization, our goal at the end of the day is the time when we stop getting reports. Until we stop getting reports at all, until we have complete zero tolerance to female genital mutilation, we won't rest. But for now, even if it's just that one case that we get, it's a burden to us, and we still want to do more. So yes, people still mutilate, and people are still adamant. Some people are still adamant to stopping the practice as we speak.
Okay. Okay. So what you're saying is that the percentage is actually not what it is, based on what you just said now. The 53 or 54 or 56%, as it were, is actually not the fact.
Well, I can't say that. I can't.
Because do you collect data when you go to these villages?
Well, yeah, of course.
At the grassroots?
Yeah, we do. Like, we document when we have cases, when we have reports. Of course, we document. And then UNICEF have this child protection information management system that they currently run, where we like update information, data like this, that, oh, there's been this report of this girl going to get mutilated or getting mutilated. And then let's not forget that when we're talking about female genital mutilation, we're not just talking about cutting of the clitoris. We're also talking about massaging. We're also talking about using Vaseline, using powder to massage the female genitalia until it dies off. So it's still classified as female genital mutilation, which is very rampant as we speak.
Okay, so how does this affect the girl child or the victim?
You mean the
female cutting or mutilation?
Well, okay, so there are a lot of consequences, things that female genital mutilation causes, and the top in the list is bleeding. So we've seen cases of where a girl child is either mutilated or massaged, and then she comes up with bleeding. And then you see other things like keloid formations. Like sometimes when you finish mutilating, because of the body, the skin, we have different skin types. And some people, during the healing process, when their body is trying to heal, the body tends to form a mast as a way of healing. That's how the person's body type is. And then you wouldn't really know whose body type is like that. So when you're mutilating every girl that comes your way, because the culture allows us to mutilate, you see a lot of girls coming down with a lot of complications. Then other complications that come later in life, like difficulty in childbearing, because that particular place that has been mutilated or that has been removed is like the place that signals the brain that a woman is about to give birth. And so it allows the woman's vagina to expand so that the baby can come out. So when that is gone, there's nothing there. That place is more like a scar tissue, and so the baby tries to force him or herself out, and then in that way the woman can get, that's where you see multiple tears, you know, when a woman is trying to give birth and all of the other complications. Some people too, after they get mutilated, the gap where they can urinate from becomes smaller because of the process. You know, anybody that is getting mutilated, the survivor is at the mercy of the cutter or the person who is mutilating. It is based on however you massage it or however you cut it or however you do it. That is how the person faces the consequences. So sometimes some people come up with issues of urination later in life when they are mutilated because there's no enough space for them to urinate. Their urine comes in drops. So because we run Survival Network and we hear a lot of these things that women go through.
We're going to be talking about this your Survivor Network in a jiffy, but first, Lucy, this is unarguably a barbaric act. It's inhuman. But I want to know, what are the driving forces? Is it ignorance of the consequences, or why is this practice still very much a today thing?
Well, I think first of all, because it's rooted in culture, deeply rooted in culture. We've grown, like we've come a long way to hearing things like, if a woman is not mutilated, she's not clean. If she's not cut, she's not clean enough, she's not marriageable, and all of that. So because of that, it's a cultural thing. People are so attached to it. We don't want to stop the practice. We don't want to, we just want to continue this practice because our forefathers handed it over to us. So we see people in the community who will tell you, it's my child, it's my right, I will behave however I want, I will do whatever I want to my child. So I think it's because it's deeply rooted in culture, and also because people are ignorant of the consequences of male genital mutilation. And that is the reason why we've started amplifying the voices of survivors. When people hear what survivors are going through, maybe they can now begin to see that these things we're talking about, these consequences are not far-fetched. They are within our location, so we can't be ignorant of these things when it's happening to someone close to me, someone I can even see, and someone I know.
I definitely like what you're doing, you know, amplifying the voice of survivors. Now, just before we continue on this segment, there is a video we need to show you. It's what Lucy and Tag is doing with the survivors. Let's look at that video, and then we'll continue from there.
Every crooked way straight over. It is forever, backward never. You are going forward, forward ever. Hey, for the Lord has gone ahead of you to make every crooked way straight over. It is forever, backward never. I carry favor. His favor surrounds me. It's my season of increase. It is forever, backward never. Hey, it's my rock and salvation. Salvation. It's my helper. My helper and my anchor. It's my season of increase.
Okay, so we have seen that video. Laura tells me she has a question as regards that video.
All right, Lucy, just looking at that video, it appears to be like a community engagement sort of a thing. What precisely do you do, or how do you get, how do you work with victims or engage those at the grassroots?
All right, thank you so much. Please, I'd just like to say that we don't call them victims. We call them survivors, because they've gone into the lion's den and then they came out alive, and it's something worth celebrating. Joint program directly supported by UNICEF. We actually built survival networks across 4 local government areas in Ebonyi State. So the idea of the network is to have a network where these women get support, because when they come to us individually and come and tell us, I'm passing through this, when you are trying their issues one by one, we need a place where they can come together, so that one, it's easier for you to reach out, and it's also the people know in the grassroots that call, where can they go to, if they have some of these issues. So when we started building this network, it started growing stronger. It's a place where women come to share their challenges, what they go through, survivors of emergency time solution, they share what they're passing through, and then anyone they can't handle at the grassroots, they now call us. So we've been for over like a year, and then this year we decided to strengthen the network. We know that some of them have serious complications, as Women Association of Nigeria, the Ebonyi State chapter, to provide these women with medical support. A lot of them that need medical support, psychosocial support, provided them with all those supports, and then also provided them with livelihood support as well.
It's all right. That's a very good one, Lucy. Fortunately, this is where we are going to be wrapping up today on this particular topic, but definitely we are going to bring you back again, because there's so much that we still need to talk about as it has to do with female genital mutilation. I believe it's no longer called cutting anymore. Yes. So thanks for being on the program today, Amaka.
Again, we can't say thanks enough to NGOs and every other organization that has come together to ensure that survivors of female genital mutilation have lives made easier for them and they are able to function in the society. Organizations like TAG and others. Thank you so very much, Lucy. This is a continuing conversation, so from time to time we're going to have you, because we would want to know what you think government and other stakeholders can do to make this a possibility. We're going to be taking a break now to bring you the news, and after that we'll be back on Sunrise.
Please, everybody, stand and help me welcome Travis Green, everybody. He's done so much for me, I cannot tell it all. If I had 10,000 tongues, it still wouldn't be enough. Tuku Nagwama really, when you hear completely. Chuku my rope and more. If he can you let we Lift your hands. Narekelemo.